And welcome back to Jeff Koinage live at Citizen Television with the governor of county number 47 still trying to explain what a Ben 10 and a cougar is. Twitter going nuts tonight. Tweets coming in thick and fast. And by the way, the poll we asked you earlier on was simple. Kidero in or out? In other words, would you vote for him or would you not? This is not a scientific poll, by the way. This is, this is just a poll we put out there on Citizen Television. So right now the numbers, if we go to the screen, Kidero in or out, 41% say in, 59% say out. Again, it's an unscientific poll. Maybe some people voted twice, 3 times, 10 times. But this, we're just putting it out there, Governor, just FYI, okay? Let me read a couple of tweets before we go on. Ahmed, his name is Asmali77. They call him the mayor of Isili. You had a recent issue in Isili, remember? Hawkers.
Yes, the hawkers.
Right?
Yeah.
So he says, I had a lot of issues with Governor Kidero in Isili, from garbage to hawkers impediment. He has corrected them. That's why I say Kidero in.
Yeah.
Isili, I mean, when you drive through Isili, it's a mess. And we're talking about garbage again. Anyone driving through Isili would say, what is this?
Jeff, let me come back to that. But looking at this poll,
yes.
One is that not everybody who's polling here is of voting age.
What do you mean? That people under 16, under 18 watching us?
Oh, yeah, they could be.
With phones?
Absolutely. They are not necessarily all Kenyans. And they're not necessarily all will vote. If you are winning, if you are leading in this, would you be saying the same thing? Yeah, I would say the same thing. And you just said it's not a scientific poll.
Correct.
Yeah. So, coming back to Isili. Isili was terrible. You couldn't move. Vehicles couldn't drive. There was garbage everywhere. We we worked together. We've now cleaned Isili. Garbage is off the road. Roads are motorable. Streets have lighting system. And then we had this court order telling us not to interfere, that even if people put their wares in the middle of the road, we were not supposed to remove them. So we went back to court, and we got that lifted. And we've gotten the people who are blocking the road, the people wwho are blocking passages,
yes, the
people who are causing obstruction to get out.
Did the court overrule that?
Yeah, the court overturned that. That's the reason why the hawkers in Isili have been moved.
What about the garbage?
We have. Isili is much cleaner. I'm sure you haven't been to Isili for a very, very long time. Why don't you ask Ahmed?
Yeah.
Ask him.
Ahmed, are you listening? If you're watching, tell us how clean or dirty Isili is.
Ask Ahmed.
Okay. Yeah. Governor, coming back to the election, what are you depending on to be re-elected? Because, let's face it, Nairobi is very segregated. So are you going to depend on your development record, or are you going to depend on the tribal arithmetic?
Yesterday we were with the president in Naivasha, and he made a very objective comment that please do not vote for somebody because they speak your language, or do not ignore voting for somebody because they don't speak a language you do not understand. The kind of language that I told the Askaris, that if you get people speaking a language that Nairobians do not understand, arrest them. But Nairobi has got 42 communities. The person to be elected in Nairobi must be acceptable to the 42 communities. And I'm depending on my record. Depending on what I've been able to do. For the last 4 years, we've had peace in the city. We've not had running battles and demonstrations in the city, and that's the reason why those indices that I was mentioning a little bit earlier on, livability indices, the city's momentum index, the foreign direct investment, that's we've seen this inflow because Nairobi has been peaceful, and there's been equity and in meritocracy in the way we manage the affairs of Nairobi.
But let's face it, Luyas are there, Luos are there, Kambas are there, Kikuyus are there. Is that what you're going to be relying on?
I'm going to rely on all Nairobians. I'll give you an example. In the last election, if I depended only on the then CORD, I wouldn't have gotten the 691,000 votes which I got.
Is that how many you got?
Yes.
Sonko got 800,000 plus. You know that as senator?
He did. And there's an explanation to that, because the addition he got over mine is the difference between Waititu and Margaret Wanjiru.
That math is difficult. Okay, Governor, remember we were talking about Ben 10s and stuff like that? Oh, there's a tweet. Okay. Kidero. Sorry. Edwin Otieno says, Kidero, you know, watching the show with my old man and he's pressing me to tell him the meaning of the word cougar.
I think let's just tell Edwin Otieno that Nairobians will elect somebody who has the interest of Nairobi at heart, somebody who is honest, somebody who has integrity, and somebody who ascribes to the Christian values.
And who's that person?
I think, even as the Bible says that when you choose people who love God, they'll bring prosperity to the city and they'll bring prosperity to their country. So there are a lot of things that are happening in this city which I don't ascribe to, like the bentening, like the cougaring, like the sponsoring. Now you've added a new phrase. The whole vocabulary of this city has changed.
Now they're sponsoring. Who's a sponsor?
Let's come back to the context of this interview.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Okay, let me read another tweet. Wangoi, surely we should have more to remember a governor by than planted trees.
Planted grass. That's
Kidero grass.
That's true.
Kidero grass.
I talked about the health. I talked about we've increased the number of classrooms. Actually, 17,500 kids are able to sit comfortable because we built classrooms in Olympic, in Marurui, in Marula. We did a dining hall in a school in Westlands, and Mathare Mental. We've given a total of 82,000 kids bursaries. Kids who would not have gone to school otherwise. That is between the governor's bursaries and the county bursaries.
Yeah.
A total of 82,000 at a cost of $1 billion.
Governor, other than wanting to complete a lot of the projects you have started and wanting a second term for that, what's the one thing, if you were to look Nairobians in the eye and say, I, Evans Kidero, I want you to elect me because of this, what would it be?
What it would be? It can't be one thing, because my manifesto had 7 pillars. And when we were talking, I was enumerating to you all the 7 things, all the things I've done in those 7 pillars, in hospitals, in health, in education, in transport, in housing, which we've started, and I said that the rest we're going to do, in the enterprise development. I was just mentioning to you that probably one of the biggest things I've not been able to, we've not been able to do is, and we would like to do, is looking after the children. Because these children did not choose, the street kids did not choose to come into the world. They're here. They're our responsibility. That's why we're building this big home on 42 acres in Ruai. That's the reason why we have built a with 2 drug rehabilitation centers, and probably we're the only ones. One in Gara and one in Embakasi, to bring them back and rehabilitate them into society.
Do you think you're the best man for this job?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I've got passion. There are people who want jobs, but they don't have passion for it. I'm doing it because I have passion and because I want to add value and make a difference in people's lives.
But also people say you're the one bankrolling all of ODM / NASA now. They say you're bankrolling them.
That's not true. I couldn't afford it.
You're a rich man, Governor.
I'm not. And even if I was, it wouldn't be to throw it away.
If you were to lose, what are you going to do? Let's say you lose in August. I mean, it's what, 5 months away? Today's March 8th, right? August 8th. What if you're sent packing? What do you do, Gov?
I'll continue doing what I've always done. I've always done with work with communities, improve the social infrastructure of the communities where I live in, whether it's up country or here, and just not up country where I was born, Mombasa, Mount Kenya, in Masailand. I'll continue doing that. And I will continue supporting all the other Kenyans, and I'll continue doing business.
And if you're beaten by a Ben 10?
I'll do that, but it's unlikely. Ben 10.
Ahmed Dubo Subane says, hello Jeff, tell Kidero Nairobians don't have trust in the leadership of Kidero. He's a failure and didn't meet the expectation of hustlers. And he says Kidero will go home early. What do you tell people like Ahmed?
Let's meet on the 9th of August.
Salim Vayani, he says, Kidero is too sly and sharp in comparison to the Cougars and Ben 10s. That makes him a favorite to win. You see, you've coined a whole new phrase for people to be, from now on, people will be referring to certain people as Cougars and Ben 10s.
I hope you'll answer the same question.
Who?
When they appear in front of you.
Oh, I don't know who the Ben 10 or the Cougar is.
Yeah. They will appear at one time or the other.
And they
hopefully.
And they will know themselves?
Yeah, you'll ask them, are you a Cougar? Or are you a Ben 10?
Okay, Governor, are you a Ben 10?
Absolutely not. You know that.
No, yeah, I do.
Yeah. You know Susan, don't you?
Very well.
Yes.
Doctor, I was with her in Berlin not too long ago.
Yeah, she's
incredible woman.
Yeah,
that woman is incredible.
Absolutely. We celebrate her.
Do you plan to be president one day? I mean, has that been your dream or your objective or your vision after you finish with this Nairobi business?
Right now, my concentration is to add value and make a difference. Bring Nairobi, because our ease of doing business, we are at number 93. I want to come below 20. Livability index, we are 103. We would like to come below 50. Cities momentum index, we would all like to come number 5, number 6. So, I have a big assignment. I want Nairobians to live comfortably. I want to get rid of slums. I want everybody to get water 7 days a week. We've increased the flow by 100,000 cubic meters. When we finish the tunnel from the tunnel from River Mathioya into Ndakaine, it will increase by another 140. We will be producing 800,000 cubic meters. But what we require so that every Nairobian gets water 7 days a week is 1.2 million cubic meters in a day. That's my dream. That's what keeps me awake. I would like to see even people in the informal settlements do what we've done in Kayole, Soweto, where we are connecting every household to water and to the sewer. What we are doing at KCC in Dandora, where we are doing the roads so that there are no floods, street lights so people can walk even most of the night, but also connect them with water and sewer.
Speaking of connection of water and sewer, Governor, something very disturbing in some of the suburbs like Kileleshwa, where apartment blocks come up almost overnight. Not only does it congest the traffic, but the sewer system and the water system becomes almost unbearable, unlivable. Well, I mean, are these illegal structures? Who allows this to happen?
I think they were approved, but what happened is that the infrastructure for sewers was never built to take that heavy load. So we are improving the sewer system. We've just completed the sewer line from Kenya High on Kiricho and Dogo, all the way up to Riverside. So the whole of that area should have a much better sewer system. The water line from Kabete, from Gigiri into Kabete and to Karen, Langata, Southlands and South Sea has just been completed. So when the new line is opened, there will be much better flow. The water line from Kirigiti, I know Kirigiti, yes. That's in your village, isn't it?
Yes, it is. How did you know?
Of course, I mean, you look like somebody from Kirigiti.
Does my face betray me?
Of course not. Yes. So that water line from Kirigiti, across Nairobi, down to Zimmerman, down to Ruai, down all the way to the airport, that will improve the water flow. So these were you see, 50 years of neglect can only be corrected by solid, gradual investment. It doesn't turn overnight. And that's exactly what we are doing. Nairobi never had a plan The first plan was done in 1927. Then never implemented. The next one in 1948, never implemented. 1963, never implemented. The last one in 1963 was never implemented. So it's only this one, the new plan, the Nairobi Integrated Urban Development Plan, that we completed in 2014, which is under implementation at the moment.
But those apartments or illegal structures, Governor, those have to stop, eh? I mean, soon they'll be going into your neighborhood and putting up, you know...
I mean, so long we have in the new plan, we have the development plans, but we also have the district plans. So that's what we are sticking to in approving. There are others which you brought down. There are people who've gone beyond what we approved. We bring them down.
Yeah. And you think you're the best person for the job, Governor?
Absolutely.
Not Miguna? Go on, say it. Say it, Governor. Do we have a final word on the poll, guys? Okay, the final numbers. Is this what we're seeing on the screen? What we're seeing on the screen, the final numbers on our unscientific poll for tonight. Kidero in and out was the question. 41% say Kidero in, 59% say Kidero out. Governor, it's unscientific. It's just out there. You have work to do. Kazi Kwako.
Absolutely, because all polls that have been done scientifically have been ahead, and I continue to be ahead if you do a scientific one.
Governor, you get the last word. That's your camera over there. You get the last word. Go.
Okay. Nairobians, it's been great serving you. We've started a lot of programs. We've started a lot of projects. We have more to do. We have more to way long to go. So please continue supporting the county government. Continue supporting us so that we roll out these programs on housing, on infrastructure, on education, on health, and Nairobi will be the better city that we promised.
Governor Evans Kidero.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with the rest of the Governor's Conference.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Governor Evans Kidero there, taking his course to the people. He did say he was going to show up, and he did. Thank you for keeping your word. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, if it's Wednesday, it's all about JKL. Those three letters on the keyboard that follow each other. JKL, right here on Citizen Television. Thanks so much for watching. Before we leave you, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Telcom Enterprise, for powering the bench. Thanks so much for being a part of this show. Keep tweeting at Evans Kidero, at Citizen TV Kenya, at Koinage. The hashtag Kidero in or out. Ben 10 in or out. What was the other one? Cougar. Yeah, Cougar. Well, okay. Thanks so much. Good night. Good luck. Governor, where are you going? God bless. Thank you.
Watching JKL Brute.